Good morning, angels of light, angels of love, angels of contentment, angels of absolute 100% you believe in yourself. You believe your beliefs. No, welcome everybody, Lynn, Adams, and Orion, Lisa and Jim and Ellen. Yeah, I think that is going to be an amazing morning, and you all have been guided here, not by me, obviously, but by something that has always been with you since the beginning of you. And the beginning of you is with the beginning of spirit, right? Because everything comes out of spirit. Everything belongs to spirit. Spirit is in charge of everything. And without that, there's no talking right now. So, how's that for an opening, Lori? Thank you for coming. I got a couple quotes and some ideas for us this morning that just one of them, just one of them, could change your outlook or up the ante or up the quality of your mindset this morning, right? Any one of them. And I'll start with this beautiful quote here. Since I mentioned the word belief, this is really sweet. This is really sweet, Ryan, to hear straight away this morning. This is from Coherence Quantum, the Coherence Quantum field. Belief is a place of rest. Belief is a place of rest. We each should find rest. We each should find rest in what we believe. Wow. Wow. Or do we kind of believe? Or only sometimes? When the situation gets a little dicey, do we still believe? And in this case, to believe in yourself. And that's a capital S or and your little self. Both. Both are important. The ego is just the soul that has gone off the tracks. It's a false pseudo soul. So it never tells the truth. It's always lying to us. It's the pseudo soul. So don't get hot and bothered by your ego, because yourself, the capital S, is the real deal you. But this is something to just consider and remember. When you say that you believe something, when you, hello, Kathleen, glad you made it. When you say that you believe something and your brain and body do not find rest, then you don't really believe it. Can we rest? Can we feel that everything is just perfect in our lives right now, regardless of what just happened? We might have to just tap on a little bit about emotional maturity today, just a little bit, just to kind of go along with this really, really believing in yourself. But when you say that you believe something and your brain and body do not find rest, then you don't really believe it. This is because when you really believe in something, your brain and body will find rest in what you believe. Your brain and body will find rest in what you believe. This is because when you really believe in something, your brain and body will go to rest. They will relax in the belief, and the belief will start to drive your behavior. And belief that does not give rest, my dears, and drive our behavior is not a belief. It's a noise making. It's a noise making. It's noise. It doesn't have any kind of potency at all. around the things that will bring more light, more love, more peace, more rest, more contentment in being really happy who you are as you are today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today. All right. So isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Belief is a place of rest. We should find rest in what we believe. And then it gives that rest will drive our behavior. It will drive our behavior and we will just relax because we're driven by belief. Oh my God. I think that's so important. So, so I'm just going to touch on this right now. Maybe a quote from Yogananda Ji first, or that was our first quote. But this is one of my very, very, very favorite quotes of Paramahansa Yogananda. This is what I love about his teachings. Teachings and then the organization that forms after teachings of a great master, they're two different things. They're two different things. I've always separated them. I've always just adored Yogananda's teaching, and I would find things that was not talked about that much in his teachings. And then sometimes, even if I gave a little lecture to the monks, they go, "Where did you find that? It's in Master's teachings. It's in Master's teaching." And yet, then there's all the people that have the organization rules down, and they know everything about how to conduct the workings, the workings. But more important to me, anyway, is the teachings. And this is a quote to remember. You must, excuse me, you must not let your life run in an ordinary way. Let's don't let our lives rest, as we rest. That ain't ordinary, man. People are on the edge of their seats, right? So to rest would be, to run our life in an in an extraordinary way, wouldn't it? To have peace and belief in yourself. Yeah. So do not let your life run in an ordinary way. Do something that nobody else has done. Do something that nobody else has done. I just love this quote. It's just like all of you have done things that no one else has done, right? See if you can locate some of that because it's extraordinary. We are extraordinary beings. And then do something in an extraordinary way is to be very, very creative, as he goes on to say. Do something that no one else has done, something that will dazzle the world, my dears, dazzle the world. Show that God's creative principle works in you. See, this is why you can't box in a master. You can't box in a teachings because the boxing in is the organization of the teachings. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not about the teaching so much as it is about the organization. I mean, St. Francis struggled with this when he was starting his mission, and his teachings to the monks and the monastic life and things like that. He had those immediately that were trying to have it go another way and get organized. And St. Francis, you can't organize someone like that. All right. So be someone that can't be organized. All right. Now here's something that could be the bomb of the morning. If I can scroll and find it. Let's see. Let me go back to the beginning, my dears. My dears. Yeah, be thinking of what in the meantime, while I'm doing this, be thinking about what we just said about belief. See if there's something in you that you really, really believe in. and see if you feel a restful energy, my dear. See if you can feel a restless or a calming energy. All right, here's a little other thing that I want to share. Just not the whole thing, but just enough to get the point across. All right. Because it has to do with belief and it has to do with how we feel about ourselves. It's called Stop Blaming People for How You Feel. Stop blaming people for how you feel. You alone are responsible for your reactions. Wow. Yeah. That's a little something to kind of just touch on this morning, okay? Just touch on. This guy says, I hope most of us can understand that we would all probably be much better off if we focused on our own reactions, responding the way we need to in the various challenges we find ourselves in, rather than blaming life, blaming circumstances, and blaming people for our own emotions. I'm an emotional guy, I must say, but emotion turned devotion is the magic potion. So if you're an emotional kind of person, that's beautiful because you can turn it into devotion just like that. Once you get the hang of it, once you want to do that, you know, to use the energy of those emotions and turn them into devotion, and devotion is the magic potion. Yeah. So this person had an image, and it was an image from early Buddhism. It was a fierce, intense, even overwhelming image of a wrathful figure, but it didn't represent evil. That figure represents awakened awareness in its most powerful form. And beneath it, though, were demons of anger, fear, pride, attachment, the inner forces that control us when we lack mastery. But emotions are not truth. If anything, this guy goes on to say that emotions are our best teacher. They're our best teacher. They help us see the value and the challenges within our circumstances. They provide immediate feedback, don't they? It's like your body, like your higher self saying, hey, focus on this. We need a little more of this or a little less of this. Stop blaming others, especially when it comes to relationships, he says. Do not blame other people for your emotions. It's very damaging and simply not true. You alone are responsible for your reactions. Take this verse from the Gita. Yay, this verse from the Gita. Let a man and woman lift herself by herself. Let her not degrade herself. For the self alone is the friend of the friend, and the self alone can also be the enemy of the self. Wow. And then there's a beautiful thing of Proverbs that says, better one who is slow to anger. Better it is that someone is slow to anger than a mighty warrior, one who rules his spirit, than one who takes a city. It's better to be slow to anger than a mighty warrior who rules his own spirit and his own way of doing something. It's much better to be slow in anger than one who takes a city. So it's that not that kind of warrior that we're talking about. We're talking about just that inner strength. There's no greater strength, as it says here in the Bible now. Anyone who is never at fault in what they say is perfect, able to keep their whole body in check. So focus on you, my dears. This is a morning of focusing on you, focusing on your belief, and see if you can find some rest. And if you don't, then maybe you're going to readjust or re-maneuver that particular belief until you find complete rest in yourself, that you believe in yourself, that how you are. And let's just say that if the quote is it's true that Yogananda said, do something that no one else has done. People may not understand it. They may not see how creative you are, but that creator spark, he says, you want to show that you are that spark of the creator itself in you as a creator. Yeah. Imagine how much your life would improve if your attitude changed, if your reactions changed, if you actually practice self-control. So we are all responsible. The final truth here is we are all responsible for ourselves, our emotions, and our reactions. And we need the humility to understand the discipline required to overcome the greatest battle of our lives. And that is that self management, right? That is that self believing, that self awareness that is so powerful, right? That all those other demons are just can't move about the cabin when we are in that place of rest, that place of true belief in yourself, even though it goes against the status quo. Yeah. That's why the creators on this planet have to watch out these days, because a lot of it, the ones that are in charge that want to dictate to people and stuff like that don't want people to be creative, right? They just want to be under their, yeah, yeah, under their guidance, so to speak. So let's go to something here now that may bring some more inner self conviction to us. This is called the Great Remembering. Humanity is finally noticing that every sacred doorway was pointing toward the same hidden light. Imagine that, my dears. This is why these little things, this is why I even mentioned this morning, because all these things are so important, especially emotional maturity, especially taking responsibility. That someone didn't make me feel the way I'm feeling. I've allowed it. I've allowed it. I've allowed it through my thoughts, through my tendencies, through my conditioning. I've allowed it to happen. Maybe too many times. So maybe a great remembering, a little post here about the great remembering is that it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be that way. It's okay to have our our bells rung and to be things twisted up. It's really okay, my dears, because let's just listen to what this says, the great remembering. It might bring things into perspective for you. It did for me. What is the great remembering? Humanity, my dears, is finally noticing. And that's what we do here. We notice. We notice these things. I bring up something and you notice it if you want to. You don't have to notice it. You can just let it go, siphon through it, and wait for the nugget of why, of God giving you the gift that He always gives to each of us, I do believe. Otherwise, you wouldn't be coming over and over again to our stream. Humanity is finally noticing that every sacred doorway was pointing toward the same hidden light. Noticing that every sacred doorway was pointing toward the same hidden light. The doorway into everyone's heart. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Was one of Yogananda's chants, right? The door to people's hearts. Finally noticing that that doorway into someone's heart leads towards the same hidden light that's in your heart. And that's something. For thousands of years, civilizations developed across oceans, deserts, mountains, temples, caves, monasteries, and scriptures, separated by language, geography, culture, and time. Yet somehow they kept arriving at eerily similar ideas. Ain't we all part of the one? How can we ever escape the fact that you and I are one? I don't think it's possible. Oh, we could forget about it. We can go off and isolate and do all that. But that's what why the sign of the times is the way they are, so that we can come back and find finally some respite in the rest that I, if nothing else, I believe in myself. If nothing else, take one thing today that is your treasure. You may not have acknowledged that recently, but take something that you believe in that nobody else may understand, or maybe they do. They don't need to know. And see if you can find rest in it. So important. Find rest that you are. And what can we say is equal to that? Is that you find contentment, you find completeness, you find that everything in your life you feel good about, that you feel like you have some management over it, right? And it's the real deal you, and everyone else is going to be the real do them, right? But no, we don't want to be like everyone else. You're unique. You are one of a kind. You want to be absolutely, always coming up with the, gosh, wow, that's amazing. Just another alternative to the conditioning, to the conditioning we're all still stuck in, right? So you, this doorway is pointing toward the same hidden light that humanity is finally noticing as their sacred doorway is pointing toward the same hidden light. What is happening? Humans are starting to compare notes, my dears. This is we get to talk turkey this every morning like this. We get to compare notes like this every morning. For thousands of years, civilizations developed across deserts, mountains, temples, caves, monasteries, and scriptures, separated by language, geography, culture, and time. Yet somehow they kept arriving at eerily similar ideas. That consciousness, that those eerily similar ideas, that consciousness is deeper than personality, my dears. That the human being contains something eternal. That the human being can have that reality is stranger than it appears. That we have consciousness deeper than personality. That the human being contains something eternal. That reality is stranger than it appears. That love, awareness, and inner transformation matter more than external status. That love, here are the things that matter, my dears. If you make matter, the material world, matter, you're just going to get madder, Madder. But you won't get madder if you have love, awareness, and inner transformation, because they matter much more than external conditions. Much more. Love, awareness, inner transformation. That awakening changes perception itself. That love, awareness, and inner transformation that you making good with you. You making good with you. Make good with you today. There's people to talk to. There's other people in our lives. There's duties that we do. There's all kinds of other things. But can you make do? Can you come to do with yourself today? Could you have a day with yourself today? Whether it be the little self or the big self or a combination of both, right? That you can just totally take responsibility for those emotions that may have gotten off the tracks, or that the emotion is being now used for devotion, as you use that energy to come into devoting yourself to a real belief that you have that brings you some peace and rest. Yeah. Wow. And that nothing, no one can take that away from you, my dears. Do something that no one else has ever done. Think thoughts, Yogananda said, that ne'er in brain have rung. Think thoughts that no one else has ever had, right? That's from the Noble New poem in Songs of the Soul. Oh, it's called the Noble New. Highly advised if you have that little book, Songs of the Soul. He talks about that. Sing songs that none have sung before. Walk in paths that none have trod. Weep tears as none have shed for God. Give peace to those whom none other gave. Claim him your own, who's everywhere disclaimed. Yeah, that's the poem if you want to know what to be an extraordinary divine being that's noticing more and more and believing more and more deeply in herself, himself. Those things are the good signs, my dears. The Hindus, the Hindus speak of Atma or the soul. The Gnostics speak of a divine spark. Sufism speaks of the beloved within. Hermeticism saw the microcosm reflecting the macrocosm. Christian mystics pointed to the kingdom within. Buddhist teachings dissolve the illusion of the separate self into awakened awareness. Look at how humanity can't we can't get away from these eerily mysterious things that bring us into oneness, my dears. We cannot. There's different robes. People wear the different robes, different symbols, different languages, different doors. But again and again, humanity keeps whispering the same impossible thing. You're not only the body. I'm not the body. I cannot die. I'm not the mind. I am changeless. I'm not emotions. I cannot fear. I am the soul whom spirit holds dear. Spirit soul, spirit soul, spirit soul, spirit soul. I am the soul that spirit holds dear. Yeah, how's that? Not the body. We're not only our story. We're not only the name that was given to us. There is something luminous underneath, my dears, in you, Lori and Lynn. Something luminous, Narayan and Lisa and Jim and Cami and Ellen. There is something amazingly luminous within you, my dears. And maybe that's our belief. That I keep using that little mantra that we had a couple streams ago. I am the love of God, and the love of God I am. I am the love of God, and the love of God I am. I am the love of God. How about that for a belief? I am the love of God, and the love of God I am. I keep repeating that. I can't get it out of my mind. And I should say my heart. I am the love of God, and the love of God I am. Right? Oh my God, that's a good belief, man, to walk away with today. I am the love of God. Give that, give that a good old mantra dose, a mega dose of mantra. I am the love of God, and the love of God I am. I am the love of God, the love of God I am. I am the love of God, the love of God I am. That's a good one. That might bring some luminous tickles underneath your skin, underneath what you're going through right now, and all the other shenanigans that happen. That you will experience some of this luminous underneath. And now, for the first time in history, the internet has placed the world's philosophies, scriptures, mystical experiences, spiritual traditions, psychological studies, and scientific discoveries into the same room. That's what technology has done. People are noticing the echoes, not because every religion is identical, But you could say religion is more identical in the teachings of that religions, but it's not necessarily identical in the organization of those teachings and the beliefs that come after the master left the teachings, right? Not because every religion is identical, they are not, but because many of them orbit the same central mystery from different angles. It is as if humanity has been describing the same mountain for all these decades, for all these centuries, for all these aeons. Wonder if humanity has been describing the same mountain, my dears, while standing on different sides of it, or that elephant story where they're all giving a bath to the elephant. Some had the ear, some had legs, but they didn't know because they were young and they were washing this huge, huge beast. And they thought, oh my God, I'm just the only thing I know is out these big, big legs and things like that, right? So humanity has been describing the same mountain while standing on different sides of it. And something even stranger is happening, my dears. The more we study consciousness, meditation, near death experiences, symbolism, neuroscience, ancient texts, quantum theory, psychology, and human perception, the harder it becomes to believe reality is as shallow as we were taught. See, see how God is pulling us all back. The one became the many, and the many are now being called back. We're being called back home. We wouldn't be sitting here at all if we weren't being called. And not only that we have also heard the call, and that's why we're sitting here right now. It's hard to it's harder to it becomes to believe reality is as shallow as we were taught. It's hard to believe what we've been taught, huh? What we've been told, what we've been conditioned as. Religion was never meant to be a cage. So in some cases, you can think of organizations as a cage, but the true genius is that luminous underneath, right? Is that place of belief where you had a genius idea and you brought it into manifestation, but you didn't get caught up in the organization of it because they really are hard to merge together. Religion is just a map. Each tradition, listen, was a window cut into the same infinite. Each tradition, my dears, is a window cut into the same infinite. And the wars began when people started worshiping the windows. Each tradition was a window cut into the same infinite. And the wars began when people started worshiping the window instead of walking toward the light it pointed to. A global remembering is unfolding, not the collapse of religions, not the erasing of differences, not the flattering or the flattening of sacred traditions into one vague idea, but the revelation that beneath them all, there was always, and there always will be, a deeper conversation trying to happen. Humanity is finally mature enough. And can we be mature enough that we stop blaming, right? That we take ownership for our own emotions, turn devotion. It's a magic potion, right? Humanity is finally mature enough to stop fighting over the windows and start noticing the light. So, with love for those remembering themselves, thank you for saying yes to life. Put your wings on. We are walking each other home. Thank you, my dears, for hanging on to this stream this morning. I hope there was a thing or two that really stuck in you that can make you feel at peace, make you feel wonderful about who you are and how unique you are. Keep going with that. Keep going with that. We don't have to please everybody. We don't have to change anybody. We don't have to do anything except rest. Rest in the peace of the unmanifest, my dears, right? And all these other beautiful things. Just stay in the beauty. Kind of, surround yourself, Yogananda said, with really great companions, really beautiful souls. Just keep surrounding yourself with the best things that feed you, that feed your creative expression, that feed that hero and heroine within you, right? Yeah, that things like that. So let's begin to do our rubbing of our hands, my dears. If you want to come on the line, come on the line. Otherwise, let's just do some ohms. It always seals the deal. Inhale your breath. Oh, let's do another so that all these little pieces of information that came in this morning all just become one amazing realization of something that you can just rest in as a belief and really, really believe it as who you truly are. Oh, perfect. How about God glasses, everybody? Kathleen. Usually we get Lynn Adams on the line here, but that's okay, Lynn. Lynn G, your spirit is loud and clear, my dear. All right. We love, we care, and we share. We love, we care. There we go, Lynn Adams. There she goes. Get the fingers going, Lynn G. That's it. That's that's it. There's the secret. There is the best energy right there. All right. We love, we care, and we share. How good is that? I'm gonna turn my little audio on in case somebody has something to share with something that hit the mark this morning. Was there something that hit the mark? Don't everyone just talk at the same time. Lindsay,
Just being here with you all hit the mark. Thank you.
I know. Same with me. Same with me. Exact. Probably the same goes with Kathleen. Yep. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you, compatriots. Yeah. Soul friends forever. SFF. Soul friends forever. So thank you, my dears. Enjoy your day. Take a lot of rest today in your belief or beliefs. All right. A lot of rest and feel that you're getting empowered, embodied, that your sovereignty itself over yourself, that you're powerful, you're beautiful, and things like that. Yeah. And we'll all do the same. And we'll come tomorrow. We'll all be ready to go for another time together in the divine. So thank you, my dears. Appreciate you very, very much. Much love and light. And that is that. So be it. Aho.